The following is a paid program from Zoe Advertising. It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2022 early fall edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my good friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. On The Local Show, we have conversations about local business with business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, civic organizations, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We talk about how they got into business, why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You'll hear all about their successes, challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the iHeartMedia studios, sponsored by Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Good weekend to Steve Roberts, cleaning the water off the pumpkins. It's a nice weekend now.
I'd rather be cleaning fish, Tom. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I've been seeing the posts. The salmon are running.
They are. Get your noodle rods out and ready to hop around.
I want to get up there. I want to go up to Dexter because that's where I had a little bit of success previously.
Yeah.
Hooking them but not landing them because they're two different things. I mean, probably 5 out of 6 times you get one on, it's going to break off.
Yeah. Well, you hear the guys all around the river saying, fish on,
and then
all of a sudden, snap,
and then you hear nothing. Fish off. You know? So we'll see, but I have to embrace it. It is early fall. You are right, and I normally don't say that to Tom. So you're right.
The fall is upon us, but hey, we've got a great show for you to stick around and get into today. We've got John Pratt up first. He's the president and CEO of Aquatic World over there in North Syracuse, and then David Buff stops by. He's a forester at B&B Lumber. And Kevin Donovan, the regional sales manager of Allstate Roofing and more, will also have a conversation with him. Natasha Schmidt, co-owner of Rubberstone, New York, and then attorney John Murphy stops by, owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Neil Carr is the vice president of Prime Heating and Air, and then Ike Jarvis, he runs the Chick-fil-A over there in Clay, but he's a big part of the Chick-fil-A in Cicero and Clay. He'll be by to talk about, of course, Chick-fil-A, so that'll be a tasty conversation right there. It's our pleasure right now to talk with John Pratt. He's the president and CEO of Aquatic World. How are you today?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Excellent. So I have a name for you. You ready?
Yes, go for it.
So way back when the earth was colder and darker. Could it be any colder and darker than it is now?
I don't know where you're going, but you have my attention.
So far, you're taking me back to my childhood when I enjoyed things.
There was a guy that knows me, and I know him, and he knows that I know him. Mm-hmm. Kurt Lavin.
Yes, Colonel.
Colonel Kurt
Lavin.
He works with you, huh?
Yes, he does. He's one of my master instructors.
Yeah, he was my 6th grade teacher.
Yes.
He must be like 800 years old.
Oh, no, he's still a young man.
No, still a young man.
Yeah.
Doing great. He heads up our training lead team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still quite active.
Well, you'll have to tell him, you'll say Tom Soccocio, and he'll be like, oh my goodness, he's known me since I was, 5th and 6th grade.
I think we should get Tom over to the pool. You know, the pool right there, and let's see how long Tom can hold his breath.
Yeah.
Are we in?
That'd be nice.
Tom, if you can hold your breath as long as I am, I'll buy you the steak dinner.
That's very nice. Yeah. I'd like a steak dinner.
So Kurt Lavin,
yes. He's, was he military? I can't remember. Yeah, he was military
He's
guy.
Still Army.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Well, that's why he heads up my lead team.
Okay. Yeah, he was a wonderful teacher, and really back then we did so much in school. Yeah. He was a big part of my life.
Yeah, super guy.
Yeah, and
really
then
super guy.
Later on in life, when I was at the gyms and lifting and everything, he'd be at the gyms and stuff. So we'd talk.
Still skiing, still golfing.
Oh, that's
still
wonderful.
Training.
How old is he? He's got to be 70 years old,
let's
right?
See, Dirt is how old? And so he's 3 years older than me. No, he's in his mid 70s now.
Oh my gosh!
You wouldn't believe it though.
No,
you would not believe it. Not
young and spry. Well, that's great. Now that begs the question. question. Do you have to be in really great shape to dive?
You have to be in decent shape.
Count you out, Tom.
Yeah, I was going to say. Steve can't even walk in the store.
Oh, stop.
Well, that's because he doesn't duck enough.
Yeah. The door is low.
No, you just have to be in good shape. You don't have to be able to run marathons or stuff like that. You do it. That swim test is relatively easy. It's not a hard one.
Okay.
So you take your time. People do get winded when they do it, but that's okay. They finish it. You want to make sure that if you have any medical conditions, check with your doctor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now, as far as equipment is concerned, if people are talking about wanting to dive, this isn't equipment that you can pick up over at the Five and Dime or over to the store.
You do not want to do that.
Yeah, you got to get it all through you.
You can get it through any reputable dive center.
Okay.
We just have to be Central New York's largest, most recognized. We have so many brands, so many varieties. We take the time to walk you through the gear you need, because what you need may not be what Steve needs.
Right, mine's extra long. And
Well,
just
that's true.
to spell any confusion, you are on Taft Road. Some people get confused. You're on Taft Road near the DMV.
That is
little
correct.
plaza there, and that's where you are.
That's where we are. That's where we've been.
And if somebody gets their equipment, I would imagine that it always doesn't work right. Something could go wrong, and who fixes that kind of stuff?
Very rarely does anything go wrong. However, I notice that everybody does not want to have their brakes checked at least for 10, 15 years. Yeah, that's because they don't use them here.
Yeah.
But no, you need your gear checked just like your car, just like a medical checkup. You need it checked. You need it calibrated. You need it looked over.
I imagine it's like before you go on a flight, if you were a pilot, because you got your life in your hands.
Yeah,
it's always got to be checked.
It is life support equipment, so you want to check.
Well, let's pretend I've never done it. What does it take? What's the process? Is it a class? Do I have to buy the equipment first? Do you throw Tom in the pool and see if he floats? What happens?
Tom's a totally different category. Equipment, coming in, getting trained. You do not have to have equipment to learn. At some point, you realize, if I had my gear, I would dive more. And if that's the case, we sit you down. We go through a process of finding out what kind of diver you're going to be. This sounds strange. Most places like to sell you and then have you come back 3 years and sell you some more. We don't want to sell you for 10 to 15 years. We want your gear to last. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, see what kind of gear you need that's going to fit you. And that's what we're going to recommend.
What kind of people get into diving? What would make somebody want to dive?
The adventure. Like I said the first time, it's the adventure, and you get them from all walks of life. We have high school students, college students, retired military, medical, the deaf, the disabled, rich, poor, in between, really poor like me.
You own a business in New York.
Yeah, I know. How do you make $2 million in a dive shot?
Start with 4.
Yeah, that's right.
So if somebody wanted to start diving and had a trip, going to Kazatmal coming up over the winter, if they started now, would they be ready to dive by mid-December?
You hit it right on the head. If you're going on a trip at Christmas, you're already a month behind.
Okay.
Get in tomorrow.
So they can do that. They can go to Aquatic-World, and it sounds like you sell fish, but you don't sell fish,
we
right?
don't sell fish.
Aquatic-World.com. They can get info there, but the phone number, the 458-1955. If they want to call and say, how do I do it? How long does it take? What's it cost? 458-1955. And you don't have to be in super physical condition, like Tom. You can just be a regular person like me.
Like you.
Right. All right. Well, regular person minus 10. I don't know. Something like that.
I know.
But it sounds fun.
It does sound fun. And maybe, folks, you could call up now and get a package together for a present. That could be
Great
a present
idea.
for somebody.
Christmas, you betcha.
Yeah,
We'll
awesome.
Super idea.
Great. All right. Well, that's John Pratt. He's the president and CEO of Aquatic World, aquatic-world.com, aquatic-world.com. John, thank you so much, and you have a great rest of the day.
You bet. Have a great weekend, guys.
Awesome. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk with David Buff. He is a forester from B&B Lumber. We'll learn all about their business next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.